Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ethan, and today we're diving into the life of one of Australia's most infamous and legendary figures, Ned Kelly. Some call him a hero, others say he was nothing more than a criminal. But one thing's for sure, his story is one of the most dramatic in history. From a tough childhood to his final stand in homemade bulletproof armor, we're covering it all. Before we jump in, don't forget to check out the free PDF in the description. It has the full transcript, a vocabulary list, and follow-up questions to help you practice English. Ned Kelly was born in December 1854 in Victoria, Australia, the son of Irish immigrants. His father, Red Kelly, had been transported to Australia as a convict, and the Kelly family grew up poor, often clashing with the authorities. Life was tough, and from a young age, Ned had to learn how to fight, survive, and take care of his family. Stories from his youth describe him as brave, even heroic. He once saved a boy from drowning and was given a green sash as a reward, a piece of clothing he would later wear during his final battle. But things started going downhill quickly. By the time he was 14, he had already had his first run-in with the law, accused of assaulting a Chinese man. The charge was dismissed, but it was the start of a long and complicated relationship with the police. At 16, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison for receiving a stolen horse, and after his release, tensions between his family and the authorities only got worse. Many poor Irish settlers, including the Kellys, believed that the police unfairly targeted them, and this resentment would play a huge role in shaping Ned's future. In 1878, an altercation with a police officer at the Kelly home escalated into something much bigger. Ned and his brother Dan were accused of attempted murder, and instead of turning themselves in, they fled into the bush. They were soon joined by their friends Joe Byrne and Steve Hart, and just like that, the Kelly gang was born. What happened next changed everything. The gang was hiding in the dense Australian bush when a group of police officers tracked them down. What followed was a deadly shootout at a place called Stringybark Creek. 3 policemen were killed, and the Kelly gang instantly became Australia's most wanted fugitives. For the next 2 years, they were on the run, robbing banks in dramatic fashion, often taking hostages and burning police records. Ned even dictated a famous letter, known as the Jerilderie Letter, where he justified his actions and criticized the police and government. Some saw him as a rebel fighting against injustice, while others saw him as a dangerous criminal. Either way, his legend was growing. But all legends come to an end, and for Ned Kelly, that moment came in June 1880 in the small town of Glenrowan. The gang had planned an ambush, derailing a police train and starting an uprising against the government. To prepare, they built their now famous suits of iron armor, hoping it would make them invincible in battle. But their plan fell apart. The police surrounded the inn where they were hiding, leading to an all-night siege. The gang fought back, their armor deflecting bullets, but there was one problem. Their legs were unprotected. One by one, they were shot down. Ned, the last one standing, staggered out of the smoke in his heavy armor, firing his gun until he was finally brought down by police bullets to his legs. He survived the battle, but his fate was sealed. He was captured, put on trial for murder, and sentenced to death. Despite public support and petitions for a pardon, the government refused to spare him. On November 11th, 1880, at the age of 25, he was hanged in Melbourne jail. His reported last words? Such is life. Even after his death, Ned Kelly's story didn't end. His armor became a national icon. His story was turned into books and films. And to this day, Australians still debate whether he was a hero or a villain. His remains were exhumed in 2009, identified through DNA testing, but his skull remains missing. A final mystery to one of history's most infamous outlaws. So what do you think? Was Ned Kelly a brave rebel fighting against corruption, or was he just a violent criminal? Let me know in the comments. And remember to download the free PDF in the description. It has the full transcript, a vocabulary list, and follow-up questions to help you practice English. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.